In my capacity as Executive Director for Women's Services, an organization dedicated to helping victims of domestic and sexual violence, I see the impact these devastating crimes have on people every day. Often I see them just after they have experienced a violent encounter with a boyfriend or girlfriend, husband or wife, parent, family member, or friend. In our shelter facility, I get to know women and children who are fleeing domestic violence, and I learn their heartbreaking stories of abuse and mistreatment. I listen to rape victims as they recount their horrific experiences, and I hear from men and boys who are trying to make sense of past and current acts of molestation. More generally, I have seen the cumulative effects these traumatizing events have had on survivors of violence. Many adopt unhealthy habits as a way of coping. They develop dependencies on tobacco, drugs, and alcohol. They develop eating disorders, practice self-injury, and attempt suicide. When left untreated, some develop social, emotional, and cognitive impairments. Unfortunately, all of this adds up to chronic health-related issues and early death. Of course, not everyone who has experienced a traumatic event develops all of these emotional, physical, or behavioral problems. After all, adverse childhood experiences are not destiny. Healing is possible and resilience can be enhanced. In fact, we can prevent these traumatic events from occurring in the first place. We can embed prevention, screening, and treatment resources into all of our existing systems that serve children and families. We can effectively intervene with adults who are still dealing with childhood trauma. Domestic and sexual violence is preventable, after all. If we do this work, we can reduce human suffering, decrease costly medical and mental illness expenses, while reducing health adverse behaviors such as smoking, drug abuse, poor diet, and the need for social and welfare programs. In fact, it is possible to improve overall health and well-being, increase educational and occupational attainment, and increase life expectancy for our friends, families, and neighbors here in Crawford County. Looking back over my career, particularly the first half when I worked closely with at-risk youth, I wish I knew then what I know today. Had I been armed with this knowledge when working with those angry, mixed-up adolescents, I would have been in a much stronger position to help them overcome the debilitating effects of adverse childhood experiences. Fortunately, moving forward, all of us can be empowered and enabled to prevent additional harm while building resilience among our most vulnerable populations.